Hi friends, it's Mari Clarke here. Welcome to Sampler Saturday. I'm going to be working with the scrapbook and cards today, February sampler. And I thought I would just start off here by showing you what came in my little package here this month. Absolutely gorgeous product from Pinkfresh Studio, the Let's Stay Home collection, Photo Play paper, the Love Letters collection, Close to My Heart, Every Little Thing Compliments, and some exclusives from Scrapbook and Cards today. So I'm just going to go through and show you some of the different, or all of the different products that I received. So firstly, in the Pinkfresh Let's Stay Home collection, I received a bunch of little die cut ephemera pieces and some stickers, and just lots of really pretty colors with this Let's Stay Home collection. So many fun different icons and pieces to use on projects. I love the color palette for sure in the Let's Stay Home collection. It's absolutely gorgeous. Here's a little partial sticker sheet here that I received that's got a bunch of different little phrases on it with the Let's Stay Home quarantine type of theme. So these are the 6x6 papers from Pinkfresh. Absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, I love the color palette. It's so pretty. So many fun patterns and beautiful, beautiful colors. So I'm going to just do a quick flip through of those 6x6 papers. And it's actually pretty amazing how much you can get out of this many pieces of 6x6 paper. When you think about a small piece of paper like that, you might think, oh, well, how much can you do with just a few pieces of paper? You can actually do a lot. It's quite incredible. And what I find always so amazing about my sampler is that for as little as $14 a month, I get all of these different products, a snapshot of some really gorgeous products that are out there in the industry, and love it. So now this next little collection here is from the Photo Play paper Love Letters collection, and just absolutely adorable. Definitely a Valentine's theme with this collection for sure. But what I love about Valentine's products is you can use hearts any time of the year, and it's a color palette that's so pretty, and I had so much fun creating with this as well. So I'm just showing you again all of the little die cut pieces that I received in my package. There's so many fun little bits, and this really neat 6x4 card with that sweet little bird and the post box with some hearts on the back, and also a 4x3 cut apart paper or a 4x6 card on the back, whichever way you want to use that. And then again, a bunch of 6x6 papers here in this stack. That sweet little bird with the little envelopes, and on the back a black background with some hearts. And this paper, really pretty, the white background with the hearts, and then that stripe, the tone-on-tone stripe. And this one with the white background. One of the things that I do really love about these papers too is they have like a pure white background, or the white accents are white, which I do really appreciate. I love that plaid, and these little mailboxes are so super cute. And then this black background with those florals is just stunning, and then a tone-on-tone floral on the back of that one. So that is a ton of papers and embellishments. And then also the Close to My Heart, Every Little Thing Compliments. There's some really great embellishment pieces here. This black cardstock is really heavy, and you can just see here there's a bunch of pieces that you can punch out of those black cardstock pieces. Very cool. And here, this is the white on black, so you can just see the different details in the white ink on there. So very, very cool as well. You can just see how nice and heavy these are. They're super sturdy and really great for embellishing cards or your scrapbooking layouts, whatever it is that you're working on. These little embellishment pieces are just great. And some of these little bits have some scallop detail around the edges. So like this circle here with the butterfly, it has a little scallop detail. I love that. I think that's genius. So much fun. And then there's also some Scrapbook and Cards Today exclusives, including the acrylic word today. There's a couple of little acrylic hearts, and then there's also this really lovely heart stencil. This is really, really sturdy plastic, very durable. And you also get some little enamel dots. Mine were cream, and there's 3 different sizes there. So that is the February sampler. Now I'm going to start by scrapping these 2 4x3 photographs here. I've also cut the basic heart background cut file from Just Nick Studio. And I wanted to back some of these open hearts on this cut file with the photoplay paper. So I'm just tracing around the outside edge of the heart. Then I'm going ahead with my cutter bee scissors. I'm going to trim out that heart, and I'm going to just kind of trim loosely around it. And now I'm going to just go right in and trim around the inside edge of where the pencil mark is. I'll add a little bit of glue to the back of the cut file, and then I'll place that cut file down onto that fussy cut heart and have the back all filled in with that pattern paper. So love that technique. It's so much fun. And this is just a really great way to create a really large embellishment piece on a background. So I'm working on a piece of white basil avalanche cardstock here for my layer underneath my cut file. And then I'm going to mat that white paper with a piece of red basil cardstock from my stash. I'm just marking with my pencil here where I want to trim out this white paper so that it's just slightly smaller than the red basil 12 by 12 paper. I'm going to take that down to my sewing machine and stitch around the edge of that white avalanche paper there. So you can just see it, there's a little bit of machine stitching. I have that adhered down to my red cardstock now, and I'm going to start to create the rest of my layout. So I'm using some 3L 3D foam squares here, and I'm going to put one of those squares on each one of those hearts. You can see I've now backed the entire cut file. I'm just showing you here what those 3D squares are like. They're just a really nice adhesive, and you can also buy them in strips. So I wanted also to mat my two 4x3 photos here with black cardstock, just so that they really pop off of the background. And so I'm just going to go ahead and use my Tim Holtz guillotine trimmer here to trim that black cardstock. And I will use just some craft foam to pop the photos up from that black mat. So I'll just adhere the photo down to the black photo mat there, and I'll do the same exact thing to the other 4x3 photo. I love these photographs. They're absolutely adorable, and they're perfect for these papers from Photoplay and the cut file, everything. It just really looks nice together when it's all finished. Now I am going to use one of those 4x3 cards underneath the photo on the right so that there's a journaling spot there. And at this point, I'm just kind of trying some different things to see what I wanted to use. And I decided to use this Close to My Heart banner for my title. And then I used that little circle embellishment from Photoplay with a little bird in it to just kind of fill in the area where the two photos join or come together at the bottom. And I'm going to pop that little bird up on some foam adhesive to give it some dimension. And I'm going to add it in that area there. And just going to get that stuck down. And I will add some smaller foam squares to that black banner for my title piece here, and just get that popped up and give it some dimension as well. So I'm going to just use a few of my smaller 3D foam squares from 3L, and I will put that kind of at the bottom area of that journaling card. I just thought that that was a really nice spot to place that, just slightly above the very bottom of that 4x3 card, not overlapping the little birdie circle, but just so that they all tuck in nicely together. And then that leaves a good spot for some journaling. Now I wanted to add a couple of other little bits. So I'm going to add some of the hearts, one of the hearts for sure, from the Close to My Heart cardstock pieces there. And I also wanted to add one of those acrylic white hearts. So I decided to just add one of the black hearts, and then I also am going to add this little white acrylic heart over to the side, and I add that with some glossy accents just to make sure that that acrylic heart stays adhered to the paper. I love how this layout turned out. It's super sweet. I love the pops of red and black and the subtlety of that really nice soft pink. I think it's a super pretty love themed layout. Next, I'm going to work on an 8.5 by 11 project. And this project features two 2.5 by 2.5 photographs here. You can see those on my desk. And I'm primarily going to be working with the Pinkfresh collection here, Let's Stay Home. I've got an 8x6 piece of white cardstock on my table here, and I'm going to just tape that down, and then I'm going to tape the stencil over top, and I'm going to use some Pinkfresh sky blue ink with that heart stencil. And I just wanted to create basically a mat, a layer underneath where my photos are going to go with this stencil. Well, the stencil's gorgeous. I mean, heart stencils are so useful in your stash because you can use them for so many different occasions, and you can run some paste through this. You can ink blend like I am. Like, there's so many ways to use a stencil. And so I just taped it down there to kind of mask off where the end of the stencil is. And now I'm going to just retape that down to get some more of the ink on the bottom part of my 8x6 paper. And when I'm all finished here, I will have hearts all over that white cardstock. And I was using a Honeybee Stamps blending brush there to add that ink. And now you can see I've just got this really nice, pretty light blue inked piece, and I've actually stitched with my sewing machine all the way around the outside edge of that piece. And I'm going to stick that down to my 8.5 by 11 white cardstock. I'm going to adhere a piece of pattern paper from Pinkfresh to that heart stenciled paper there with a little bit of foam adhesive so that it's dimensional. And I'm going to mat my two photos here with that Pinkfresh paper that's got the blue stripe. It's such a pretty paper, and it'll just kind of like be around, you'll just see it around the edges of my photo, and I love that. I just love that soft blue. I think it's just so pretty, and it looks so pretty with the other colors that are in that patterned paper that I have underneath my photos. So there's pink and there's yellow and there's that really pretty blue. It's gorgeous. Now I'm going to use the other little bits and pieces from the Pinkfresh collection that were in my sampler to embellish this layout. And I'm not going to use all of them. I'm going to use just a few. I do have lots of product left over when I finish my 3 projects today for other things that I am going to be creating with my sampler. I'm going to use that Today acrylic piece as the title. And then this little cardstock sticker is perfect for journaling. So I'm going to pop it up on some foam adhesive and just stick it in underneath that word today. And there's a perfect little spot for some journaling. You can see that little blue banner piece underneath the bottom photo there, which is super cute. It's just got a little white heart on it. And then I'm going to add those little that little heart puffy sticker there by the journaling spot, and I couldn't resist. I really wanted to use this puffy rainbow. It's so sweet, and I'm just going to pop it up on a little bit of foam adhesive and put it down with that little banner, and this layout is going to be finished. So I really love how this turned out. I think it's super cute. I love this collection. It's gorgeous. I love the color palette, and just it's got so many useful icons and so on, phrases for this time that we're in, and the photos that I'm sure we're all scrapbooking. Now I'm going to make an A2 size card. I've got an A2 size card base, and I have a piece of cardstock here that is about 3.75 by 5, and I've run it through my Cuttlebug embossing folder here that's Swiss Dot. I'm going to adhere that onto my card base, and it just adds a little bit of texture to my card front. I just like that. I like using an embossing folder for that purpose. I'm also going to be using a My Favorite Things die in my process as well. And here you can see I used my heart stencil again with some Gina K Cherry Red ink and just added that to some white cardstock, and then used that scallop circle die to cut that out and create a little embellishment for my card. Now I'm going to use this little birdie piece from the Photo Play collection. I actually took that down to my sewing machine and sewed around the outside edges of that little bird die cut piece. I wanted to use the Hugs and Kisses die cut for my sentiment, and I also wanted to use a little strip of that black plaid paper on here for a little pop of black as well, just below that Hugs and Kisses die cut piece. So this is kind of the general idea of what I decided I wanted to do for my card and how I wanted it to to put it together. So at this point right now, I'm just eyeballing things, looking at the different things that I have, trying some different things to see how I want my card to come together. Now, I did have these black hearts ready to go from the Close to My Heart Every Little Thing Compliments sheets, and I thought these would just be perfect on here. Again, just that contrast of the black I think looks so nice with the red. And so I decided to use those 3 little hearts as embellishments here. So in this next segment of the video, you're just going to see me putting this together. I've got the sewing done on that little die cut piece. I have sped this up now just because it's just, basically sticking things down. It's not too exciting. And I am going to pop up that scallop circle on some 3L 3D foam squares again, just to give it a little bit of pop and dimension. And then I'll just go ahead and add these other things to my little card. And that's going to finish my 3 projects today. I hope you enjoyed watching me create. I always love my sampler. When I get my sampler in the mail, it's a happy mail day. And I just have so much fun looking through the little pocket of goodies that's in the sampler and thinking about all of the things that I want to use. And there's so many projects that you can create with this little package of perfection. I love my sampler. It's so great. So thank you again for watching today. Have an amazing day. Stay safe, stay well. Don't forget to check the description box below for links to where you can find Scrapbook and Cards Today in social media and links to all of the other things that we would like you to know about. Have an amazing day, everyone. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.